Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Summit of Light. I am Danielle Kane, and I'm a business owner, QHHT quantum healing hypnosis practitioner, and the host of the Conscious broadcast. The Summit of Light is a gathering of minds and hearts from some of the leading figures in spirituality, natural medicine, metaphysics, and conscious living. Healers, thinkers, and change makers from all over the world are coming together to share their vision of human potential, our collective role in time, and the meaning of life. This summit is sponsored by our friends at Living in the Heart and Empowered Media Solutions. And I'm excited to be introducing our speaker today, lovely lady Natasha Koshinka, a QHHT practitioner, as well as a quantum energy healer, among many other things. And today I have two questions that I'll be asking her. The first one is, what do you feel is the most important thing in life? What fills your heart? What brings you joy? And what do you do to bring more of it into the world?
Thank you so much, Danielle, for introducing me. And I also want to say thank you so much for all the work that you're doing on this wonderful project. I'm really looking forward to when it comes out for everybody to see. So what I bring into this world, what I'm most passionate about, what makes my heart smile. What makes my heart smile is returning people back to who they are here to be, returning them to their most authentic self, returning them back to their voice, returning them back to their clarity. And I do this by looking at the individual and seeing what imbalances they are currently living with. Now, I offer lots of different services. My joy comes from providing different ways to approach, I guess, these issues of imbalance, of not being who we are here to be. And I would say my number one service that I offer is called QHHT, which stands for Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. And what that is basically, if you're familiar with what's called past life regression, it's something like that. It's basically that, but there's more freedom in this work, as in we are not just dealing with the past. And what we're doing is we're kind of just going through the entirety of the Akashic records, through the entirety of the quantum field, basically kind of zeroing in on whatever it is that lays inside you, whatever blocks lay inside you. And it is the subconscious or the higher self, whatever we want to call it, but basically your truer self that helps me guide whoever it is that has came to me for assistance. So basically, if somebody is suffering with, let's say, terrible memories, whether it's through nightmares or just depression and anxiety, just not having clarity in their life, just feeling stuck, and just, I guess, an overall unhappiness and lack of ease. And what we're doing is we are asking the subconscious the question of, when can you say was the first time that this thing occurred? And what we are doing there is we are in the Akashic records, in the quantum field, whatever words you want to plug in. What we're doing is we are going to these moments and we are looking at and processing the information that we were not able to process when we were in that situation in the past. So let's say if somebody, like the way I guess it works is when something happens, like let's say a trauma happens to a person, like a traumatic event, the brain kind of takes a picture of everything that surrounds, and the brain is not processing these energies. It's kind of, there's like a shock. And basically what happens is this emotional energy is not worked out the way it's supposed to be worked out. Like if you look at wild animals, for example, something traumatic happens. If you look at, if you've seen, like, let's say there's a deer, for example, and there was an attacker, and the deer, froze, it's laying on the ground, but once the threat is over, it comes back to its regular self. But what it does is it goes through a shaking, the body goes through a shaking moments to get rid of these energies, these emotions, these peptides, or whatever words we want to put it. It removes it from the nervous system, and therefore you're able to clearly function. That animal is able to clearly function. But for us human beings, we don't really do that. We don't do the shaking thing. We don't get it out of our body. Well, at least right now we don't. Right now that we don't yet understand how all of this stuff works. And so this energy does get stuck. And when I said that your brain takes a picture of everything that happens, sometimes what will happen is you will develop allergies, for example, because your brain, like I said, takes a picture of everything, and anything that is in its in its vision, I guess, in its perception, it could make the mistake and find certain things, like let's say you were drinking a certain tea, like a certain herb, and something traumatic happened. Your brain might take a picture, like I said, of everything, including what you were drinking. So let's say it was cumin, right, in the one of the things that were in your tea, and later on you can develop an allergy to the substance, just because simply your body is trying to protect you, even though thanks body, but yeah. So it's, yeah, QHHT can definitely help move these energies by revisiting and processing, because we didn't process it, by processing these situations, these moments in time. And what else? There's just so many things that you could do with QHHT. For example, if you feel stuck in your life, and you need to make a business decision, or what kind of job do I want to work next, or is this job is this job the right job for me? Or even, let's say there's a there's, let's say, two jobs come into your life, or two different life situations, whatever they are, this house or this house, plug in whatever the two choices could be. And basically what we'll do is we will be able to, with QHHT, go into scenario A of what would life be if I took this job or took this house, and what would the scenario be like if I took job B or house B. And you'd be able to play it out within the basically quantum field without having to physically do it, which obviously takes so much time if you do it in the physical world. So this is kind of a good test run, a great test run to save you time, to save your energy, just save so much money, everything. And yeah, just so many ways that you could use QHHT. Basically, if you have an issue and you lack clarity, or you have just anything and everything, really, chances are QHHT can help. And you could, of course, always reach out and ask if a certain issue would be something that this method can help you guys with. It's one of my favorite ways to heal. To me, part of what I love about this process, the QHHT process, is that you are doing the work yourself, and therefore you are clearing your own blueprint. Now, to try to explain what I mean by that, I'm gonna go and mention shamanic soul retrieval, which is something I also do actually. So what that is I would be going into, and I could journey for myself, and I could journey for other people. And what I would be, let's say I'm working for somebody comes to me and they're telling me there's this feeling in their heart and they want to just feel later, there's just something going on, there's some kind of heaviness or there's something missing, let's say. So basically it's similar with QHHT. There's an issue. So what I would be doing is I would do a shamanic journey, and that's basically kind of going into a trance-like state and traveling in the Akashic field or the quantum field, whatever words, once again, that we want to use. Traveling there with the intention of working with you specifically and looking for the pieces within the Akasha that have been lost, that belong to you, which are called soul pieces. And what I would be doing is I would be searching, like I said, throughout this world. I would find a piece and I would bring it back to you. There is, from my personal experience and through the observation of other people, there is an experience afterwards of something having had come back. So what's basically going on, there's an essence, whatever word that you want to use, but there's an essence that belongs to you that is now has joined back with you, and you feel a tangible difference. Usually there's obviously different experiences for everybody. So it's an extremely healing, amazing thing. And if somebody's, let's say, not ready to do their own work, let's say they're hurting too much, I understand, and this would be a wonderful path to take. But I do like to tell people, one moment. You rock. And that I do like to tell people that while this is a very, very powerful practice method, in my personal opinion, QHHT is better and more powerful. And the reason for that is that you're doing your own work. You're taking responsibility in a way for your own healing. And when you're doing this work of processing, because not only are you returning the soul pieces back into yourself when you're processing the stuck emotions, but what you're doing is, because you are doing this work yourself, you are now changing the blueprint that is you. So let's call this and don't mind the word, I know there's negative connotations, but let's just say there's a matrix, your own personal matrix, a positive matrix that is around you. And if you one moment, guys. So if you want to, so this matrix basically it's a blueprint of who you are, where you come from, obviously, where you're going, obviously. And this blueprint is the little details of what you're supposed to experience and complete, as in close the loop. Basically, there's certain things in your life that you're supposed to experience and complete and resolve. And when you're processing these things yourself, you are changing the blueprint of, you're making it completion, as in it's not it's no longer going to come back into your reality. If for whatever chance it was to come back, it's perhaps a different version, or there's just something else that just needs to, because we just never know what's going on within our personal story. So yes, so usually the blueprint is cleared once you process it yourself. This is how you move forward. I love QHHT. It's, like I said, one of my very very favorite things. I could go on and on, honestly. But yeah, guys, if you want to get back to yourself, if you want to have clarity, to be able to live with freedom, this is for you. This is for you. If you don't like it, don't try it again, right? I mean, it's not like it'll hurt you. So another thing that I do offer in my personal business is what I call sacred ceremonies. And basically in a sacred ceremony, I give people a beverage. And this is obviously in person. QHHT can be done in person and remote, as in over Zoom or other video platforms. And when it comes to the shamanic journeying that I would do for somebody else, that would be me doing it for the person, just me remotely doing when it's the best time for this to happen. So for the sacred ceremony, it's obviously in person, and that I offer one-on-one and as well as groups. So if you ever want to have some kind of a group sacred ceremony, check out my my Linktree. That's what I currently am using. It's linktree.com/Natasha Koshinka. And yeah, just you'll see all the services when you go on that site that I offer. And one of them is the sacred ceremonies service. And yeah, so I give you a magical concoction that will put you in a state of, so basically what's in this concoction are different kinds of mushrooms and cacao. Lion's mane, for example, is one of the mushrooms. But if you want to get a better list of what I work with, and I work with magic. I mean, magic is all around us, you know. Just go on that website, or you could always even reach out through email. But I highly recommend checking out the website through the Linktree. And basically what my goal is to have you get into a state of being able to receive, as well as be able to, whatever happens inside you, allowing it to come up, and I intuitively work with that energy. What happens during a ceremony is that you're basically, you know, the patterns of thought that we all kind of have within us, they're more malleable. It'll be easier to work with. Just, I guess, I don't want to give anything away. Just expect a transformation and lightness afterwards. Highly recommend. And you could check that out, like I said. And the other thing that I offer is called ascension guidance. And basically what that is, how do I put it? So we are going through currently, obviously, some very different energies that are streaming in onto our world. These energies are photonic light. And photonic light, let's just say it is changing who you are throughout your whole system. And a lot of people don't understand what is going on with their bodies and what is going on with their mind, what is going on with their emotions, why they're just all the things, why they're, let's say, becoming allergic, having all these food sensitivities, why they're able to bear less and less things, like they can't put up with things, is what I mean, as that they used to be able to. They feel lost and confused. They understand something's going on, but they feel lost, and they just need to understand better what's going on and to be led a little bit, directed on how to return to feeling better, and how, instead of just putting up with how they feel, they could start to thrive, what steps they could take. So that is one of the services that I offer to everybody. Just, it could be just one session, just so you are no longer lost. I mean, having clarity is absolutely everything, as we all know. And another thing that I offer is autism consultation. So basically, I have this understanding. Well, first of all, I have this weird understanding of psychological abnormalities. I just understand the roots of things, basically. I can see. And specifically, my this is a really big passion of mine. What this autism consultation is, what my services are. I offer myself as a bridge between autistic children and their parents. The issue that I've been witnessing is that autistic children are not being understood. They're not being understood properly. In my opinion, it is not okay to just ignore because it's inconvenient. And I'm not trying to judge anybody. I'm just saying that the autistic individual very likely is hurting very deeply. Hurting not just physically, there's a lot of physical pain that a lot of the times can come along with being autistic. There's a lot of mental pain because of the sensitivity of the autistic individual. They are more prone to other comorbidities, other issues, other balance problems on all the levels: mental, physical, emotional. I would love to be able to observe whoever comes to me, observe the child, and this work could also be done with adults, but I just specifically want to be able to give a voice to the children, especially the children. I want to be able to communicate what it is that is going on with the child or the adult, so people around them can understand them and assist them in feeling better and not in pain. Being in pain is not okay. Just because there's an inconvenience doesn't mean the child or the adult on the spectrum should endure the pain because people don't want to deal with it, because there's too many things going on. Again, I get it. But is it okay that if somebody thinks it's okay that you're in pain because they don't have the time, they don't want to deal with it? It will never be okay. Once again, not a judgment. I just want people to feel better. And what I can tell you is there's a lot more going on to the autistic individual than what we think is going on, what the majority of humanity thinks is going on. There's a really deep depth there. There's a big, deep presence, and there are big, deep gifts for the world to receive, if the person on the spectrum can have a chance to be considered a person. And so I offer, once again, any assistance that is needed for the child, for the family. And even if and as a matter of fact, if anybody would like me to just discuss my understandings further, to help like if somebody is, let's say, in the field of making changes, trying to understand this phenomenon of autism, feel free to reach out to Dig My Brain. I am here to help change occur. And if you have the power to influence what is currently going on, I highly recommend getting a little bit of info from this side of the world. I just, again, want people to feel better. And like I said, there are gifts on the other side if we actually listen and consider people, these people. There are big gifts. And obviously, these individuals could be more left side thinking or right side thinking, left side of the brain, right side of the brain. Both are very special. The right side of the brain specifically and especially are the ones that really have my heart, because that kind of gifts are for the betterment of the world, because they're coming from creational energy. Genesis, genius. Genesis is creation. They're here to make changes in this world. They're here to see through the things people don't see. And yes, not all autistics are awake, but a lot of those on the spectrum are, and they can see what others can't. And to bring it a little even further, what if we entertain the idea that those that are on the spectrum, and I'm speaking just for the autistics, there's others that are to be considered, things that are considered mental illnesses, but there's gifts in those as well. And again, I just understand the roots of psychological things, and I could tell you the roots or the reasons or whatever that has to do with a specific issue. But my passion lies in autism specifically. And what are these gifts? Some of these individuals, I believe very deeply that when you are autistic, when you're using the right side of your brain mainly, these individuals are the shamans of the world. And to discount them and act like they're beneath us, it's a problem. It's a problem. I just want this world to have what it's meant to have. Part of it is having these individuals be embraced as the seers, the healers, the change makers. That would make my heart so happy if we could open our eyes and really take a look at what's going on. And I don't think it's a coincidence that the sensitives are the ones that are being drugged and called crazy and being locked away. I mean, this is just, again, from the side of just autism. Locking those kinds of people away, it does something to the collective. And let's put it even further. When the structure of psychology, mental health, when that was put together, was it put together on purpose to lock away the ones that think for themselves, the ones that can help heal the world, the ones that can see, the ones that are not status quo? Is it a coincidence that these are the people we are locking away and calling crazy? I don't think so. And to go in even further, something to consider. Neurodivergent individuals in general, autism is one of those neurodivergencies, ADHD, dyslexia, the works. These things need to be reevaluated. And I'd like to bring attention to the fact that a lot of these individuals are extremely sensitive to the point where a lot of them become numb because of their sensitivity, and therefore they don't have empathy. It's not, the issue is they're too numb because they were too sensitive. That kind of sensitivity, whether you become numb or dissociated, I guess what I'm trying to drive at is a lot of people that have mental disorders, a lot of it, in my personal opinion, stems from being overly sensitive, but not overly sensitive in the way that we hear it today in society. Overly sensitive as in more sensitive than other people. This is why neurodivergent humans are the ones that are here to help change the world, to break the things that no longer work. Those structures no longer work. They need to be torn down so we can rebuild. I guess I'll leave you guys with that. We need to look at mental illness in a different way. Not in a way where we're the victims that are being and I'm not trying to offend anybody. I apologize if I do. But yeah, seeing it as we're the victims, that we have to deal with these individuals for us. But my personal opinion is that when things happen, they don't happen just because they happen for a reason. Things don't happen. This is the fourth time this is being repeated that I know of, and in this project, that things don't happen to us, they happen for us. Everything that happens for a reason. Perhaps there's a body of knowledge that we came here to acquire, that we can only acquire because we've gone through what we've gone through. Okay, I'll leave you guys there with mental health. So the other thing that I offer is what I call quantum energy healing. So basically, I mean, I am a Reiki master, but I go a little further. I invoke the energies. I invoke them with my own intention, my own perception. One of the things that I put into my intention, the first thing that I put intention is the word, the purest energies, because I just want to make sure I'm getting the very best that the universe has to offer. And I'm streaming not only what we're calling Reiki energy, but I'm also, let's just say I'm going into the 0 point field and working with that energy. There's a depth to it that I'm perceiving. Now that is kind of new to me. This is a new thing that I taken on, working with the 0 point energy. Yeah, there's a depth to it that I don't yet have words to but I am finding faster shifts, deeper healing, and what else can I say about it? So the way, one moment, guys. Once again, apologies. So the way I offer these sessions, quantum energy healing sessions, as I call them, either in person. I currently live in New York City, but won't be living here for that much longer, thank goodness. I appreciated being able to anchor the light in this location, but it's been way too heavy, and I'm ready to move on and give myself more ease. I am actually, my next location will be Dallas, Texas. So if anybody's in Texas, we could definitely meet in that location whenever and if you are ready. But yeah, so I offer my quantum healing services in person and remotely. Again, because I'm working just like with a quantum healing hypnosis technique, since I am working with the quantum field, you do not need to be next to me. When it comes to specifically working with QHHT, I'm reading your energy because I can see you and I could hear you. And I know what's going on because you would be describing to me what's going on. And again, I'm intuitively feeling where you're at. And so when it comes to energy healing, like I said, same thing. It's the quantum world. You don't have to be in front of me to receive the benefits. If you're able to, beautiful. If not, you will still receive the benefit. And I know there are some people that do it through the screen. I personally do not do it through the screen because you don't need to do it through the screen. My intentions alone are enough for me to do what I intend to do, because what I'm doing is I am communicating with the quantum field. I am directing the energy from the quantum field. Yeah, I would love if people understood that this doesn't need to, again, absolutely welcomed, but it does not need to be in person, nor does it need to be me doing this into the screen. Because technically you're not next to me anyway if we're doing it through the screen. It's for your visual, it's for your psychological benefit, but not necessary. I would definitely will be doing this on my own time. And of course, I could tell you a time when this healing would be occurring, if that is a preference. And perhaps you could, feel it and let me, and ask me, hey, did you do it this time? And, we could confirm that way. So my next thing that I wanted to introduce is, so I have a poetry book called Ascension Poetry, Light and Shadow. Let me show you the book. It's going to be not the correct way, the mirrored way, but here it is. It's called Light and Shadow, Ascension Poetry. And you can find this currently through Amazon. That is currently where my book could be found. You could also find it through my Etsy store, which is available once you click on the Etsy store on my link tree. It'll take you straight there. And basically what I've been doing throughout the years, so I like to say that it started in 2011. But then when I was looking through my laptop and other places, I found a poem from 2005, and I feel like I know exactly the moment and the location when I wrote it. I think it was when I was supposed to be studying, when I was in Hunter, when I was supposed to be studying, probably for what is it? Statistics of psychology or something along those lines. Just remember, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this. I feel like that's when I wrote the poem. So anyway, 2005, my first poem. And that first poem is the first one in the book, and it really kind of shows you where I was at in 2005, and my God, the terrible terrible condition that I lived in, and in 2011 I had the pull to start writing again, and I feel like it might have been for this spring equinox, and I that I was like around that time that I was felt pulled to start writing, and my poetry, I wrote throughout the years, and then over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now, maybe 2 years ago now, I had realized, hey, I could take, because my work is basically my work is ascension. It's in clearing the densities from our body so we could have clarity, so we could have lightness. When you have lightness, when you have clarity, there's more light that comes into your system, more photonic light. When you hold this energy, you have more information pumping through your body. Your DNA changes. There's certain information that starts to flow through your system that you're then able to share with the world, if that's something that you like to do. And so I realized I could bundle these poems into a book, and give it to the world, and call it ascension poetry, because that's what it is. When I realized, I was like, oh, that's ascension poetry that I have here. This is perfect, again, because this is basically my work. And to realize I already had something I've been working on, without really knowing what I've been working on, as it usually happens, as we know. I highly recommend going through that if you enjoy that kind of thing. If poetry is your thing, I do highly recommend. And there's just a lot of there's feelings of frustration in there, and there's feelings of okay, and there's teachings, what I would say, call them, information, and also when certain people overcome certain things, there's certain frequencies within their DNA, and when they create certain art, that information is communicated through the quantum field to the reader or the observer. So there is something for your DNA when you pick up certain artwork from people, again, especially people that are on this journey doing this clearing work, and are having certain DNA strands come online. So whether it's my work or the work of another individual that is on their journey, it's going to most likely trigger you in one way or another, whether you consciously realize it or not. There will be shifts in your life that will happen for you. So once again, pick up a copy if that's something you're interested in, and I hope you enjoy. My other baby that I am very, very proud of is called Ascension. It's called, I'm sorry, it is called, it's a podcast, and it is called Greetings, Earth Family. And in this podcast, there's backstory, first of all, as there are with many things. And then when I first started it, I just knew this is the time. This is the time for you to press record, and I made it happen. I didn't let my concern for the fact that I don't know how to edit, none of that. I didn't let any excuses stop me. This is the time, make it happen. And so, I press record, started speaking, and that was kind of like, okay, I got over the hump of starting something that you're afraid of because it's new. So I got over that hump, and for my second episode, I was like, okay, I really, like, what should I do next? And it was about Kundalini, and I wrote some stuff down so I could like give proper information. And I feel like that was one of the only times that I prepared for an episode. So yeah, so basically the beginning few, or even the first season, really, it's just the beginning. And then my second season is, I decided, so there's like inspiration, there's divine inspiration, long story short. But I just don't I don't want to go into the backstories just yet, maybe sometime in the future. But let's just say I was inspired to do a set subcategory called Ascension Stories, where I invite people on my podcast to talk about their ascension journey, to talk about what they went through waking up, and how their journey was, and basically on the other side of that is what do you offer to the world now, because when we go through certain things, that usually directs us to bring certain aspects of what we know into the world and help with what we know. So basically, what gifts do you bring into this world? So that's season 2. And season 2, I don't know when that will be, if I'll ever finish that, because I think over time, here and there, if I ever feel inspired to interview somebody, that's I'll go ahead and record that episode and put him into season 2. It's just 2 people, season 2, and it started in 2022. So just, I don't know, this whole thing. But then I also did season 3, and I feel like that in season 3, I'm just going deeper into some realizations. So basically, it's info that I would consider it more so new info, or even if it's not new, it's info that is filtered through the heart. It's information that is basically I'm going to call them eureka moments, or some people might call them downloads, whatever we want to call them, but basically it's like, oh wow, oh, let me share this, so what it feels like to me when I'm recording an episode, I feel like I'm just there and I'm being spoken through. Some people might call this channeling. I technically do, but I'm kind of weird with channeling, still trying to come to terms with. I don't know, it just feels normal to me, but I don't know. We call it channeling. And so I like to say, I do like to say that it is my higher self that I am channeling, but I was actually talking to lovely Grace yesterday, Grace De La Rose. I was interviewing her, and she told me that there's more than my higher self that's speaking through me. Doesn't really matter, to me anyway. I just think I love this information that comes through. I mean, like, really love this information. Some of this stuff is I've never heard of before anywhere, but a lot of the times it is influenced by something I may have heard, or it could be just influenced through just being in water. Let's say my hands are in water, and something comes through. What else can I say? I really love my podcast very much. And you could definitely find the Ascension Stories, the season 2, in video version on YouTube. And that's, my YouTube channel is called, currently, I'm not sure if I'll ever change it, because I really like the name I have currently. It's called Quantum Musings. Musings as in inspirations. And I mean, there's not too much currently going on my YouTube channel. Probably will be going on way more eventually. But for now, there's just so much going on. There's so much. And what else can I tell you guys? I do have a class that I offer to people called Rising Feminine course. And basically, it is an 8-day class that you could take either consecutive days or every other day. You have to take responsibility basically for yourself to be able to create you know, what you are, one moment, guys, I'm being distracted right now. Apologies once again. So yes, so the feminine rising course, yeah, like I said, you could do it consecutive days, every other day, whatever, however you want to do it. Just, you know, take yourself seriously, as in do this work for yourself. It's basically, it's designed to kind of clear things out of your of your world, and kind of center you back so you could create, to basically move things out so you could be more on your mission. Yeah, that is basically the bulk of what I do. I do have a option here on my link tree to go into the holistic healing website. There's other things that I offer there as well. One of which is something called Yoga Nidra, and that's it's basically a guided meditation, but it's designed to relax your nervous system. When we do such things, we are healing. I highly recommend reading up on it, Yoga Nidra. And if let's say you have some kind of event that you are putting together, and you need somebody to lead a very powerful meditation, I'm available for those kinds of things. So that's just putting that out there. But other than that, yeah, I just want everybody to return back into who they are, to basically live from the heart. That it's a way that I've been able to finally live, because I continue to do the work. You know, just there's a lot of shadow work that needs to be done to be able to clear all the crap, so you could be more of who you are, and therefore create in this world, make things happen. Yeah, I just want people to follow their heart, you know, be in balance and follow their heart. The way I function is I'm just here, and whatever the heart wants to say, I allow it. You know, if the excuse me, if the energies in the heart are positive, again, because I've done the work, and they pour out, you know, they could do so many wonderful, powerful things. Powerful. They're literally this here is how we how do I put this? Jump timelines is a good way to put it. Quantum leaping is the same thing, is a good way to put it. People don't understand the power of this, and perhaps one day I'll talk about this. This is the most powerful tool we have. Again, there's depth. It's too much to go into right now. But this right here, this is what changes everything. Everything. One moment, guys, once again. And so I welcome you guys to you know, to do this work, however you go about doing it. As a matter of fact, if let's say, again, it's my goal to, one of my goals is well, so many goals. With my podcast and Ascension Stories, it's to help people not feel alone. B, it's to basically see those people that are available in the world, that eventually, you know, when people will realize that they need assistance in feeling better and they need healers, they'll be able to, whether it's with me or with anybody that is on my Ascension Stories, if they let's say resonate better with somebody else. So that's going to be kind of be, in a way, an archive, you know, of healers. I want the heart to rule the way to kind of go a little deeper, the way I function now, I'm not really thinking too much anymore. I'm relying on my heart to know what's next. I've surrendered, I guess, myself fully to the compass that is my heart. There is no effort. How beautiful is that? Yeah, you can be here too. Oh, all the difference. Anyway, thank you so very much for listening to me. And I really hope that you receive everything that you can possibly receive from this project, this beautiful heart-based project. I hope you can receive all that you're able to perceive and take in. And I hope it makes such a big difference in your heart and helps you grow and helps you realize yourself and so much more. And yeah, once again, you can reach me by going on linktree.com/Natasha Koshinka. And yeah, you could find all of my services there. Thank you so very much, everybody, for listening. I really appreciate you and your time and the journey that you're on. Best of luck. Best of luck.
Okay, everyone, I want to thank you for joining us today. And I want to thank, most importantly, Natasha, for all the wisdom and knowledge that she brought today. And we wanted to tell you briefly, don't forget to get your all access pass, the Summit of Light 2023, and you'll have the ability to access this knowledge for life. Thanks again for joining in, and you have a lovely day.